Well, we're back here at the Hall of History, taking our look at the rest of the war in the Pacific and the dropping of the atomic bomb. Well, the Allies, as the war went on, and we got in 1944, used a strategy of island hopping to bypass or leapfrog, if you will, Japanese strongholds. And the Allies, especially the United States Marine Corps, would go in, do amphibious landings on islands that supposedly were less fortified, take those, cut off the islands that they leaped over. Well, as it will soon find out, even these islands that supposedly were not heavily fortified put up fierce resistance and caused many, many casualties. While this was going on and the war in Europe was going on, the United States had a secret project called the Manhattan Project, and it was the creation of the atomic bomb. To have an atomic bomb, you need a chain reaction, and to have that chain reaction for a nuclear fission, the first one was actually took place at the University of Chicago in a squash court beneath the old football stadium, which is kind of interesting. That was done in Chicago. Excuse me. And then later on, the United States created a large facility in Los Alamos in New Mexico. And you can actually go there once a year, I believe. The original site where the first atomic bomb in the world went off, you can actually go visit it. This was led by Robert Oppenheimer. Many other scientists were involved. Many of these scientists came from Germany. The Russians were also trying to get the bomb. The Germans were trying to make an atomic bomb. So it was this race to get it done. Albert Einstein pushed Roosevelt for it because he knew the Germans were trying to get it, and he did not want this kind of technology falling in the hands of the Germans. Well, while the bomb was going on, there was a big decision, if we get it and when we get it, are we going to use it? Well, what ended up happening, the two big battles in the Pacific, the battle for Okinawa and Iwo Jima, you can see the numbers of lives lost. The Japanese would not surrender. They would fight pretty much to the last man. And both of these small volcanic islands of really no particular significance cost many, many, many Allied lives. And what the Allies were worried about is that if we were to invade the Japanese islands, the homeland, that upwards of 1 million American lives and about 500,000 British lives would be lost on that invasion. Well, that was not going to work, and so the decision was really made to drop the bomb. Well, on August 6th, the Enola Gay, again, much of this material, we're not doing it justice, and a lot of the atomic bomb material we'll look back or look again at after the semester exam. Both of these dropped the bombs on Hiroshima, and then Nagasaki, and the devastation was tremendous. And when we get in after the exam, we'll look at some of the pictures there. Well, the justification, one was just going to be the lives lost of the American and the British lives. And if you were going to spend all this money to make it, at the time the thought was then you had to use it. And also you wanted to send a message to the Soviet Union that the United States was the superpower at the time on the planet. The Soviet Union was also trying to develop their bomb. They actually had spies in the United States, and there was a contest. There was a race to get to make the first bomb. They were taking German scientists that they would capture, bring them back to the Soviet Union, have them work on their bomb. The same thing ended up happening with the rocket projects. The Germans were far ahead in with the V2 rockets. The Soviet Union was getting their scientists. The United States were, Werner von Braun with the United States program, and you also had the space race going on at the time. Well, at the end of the war, VJ Day, August 15th, the final surrender took place September 2nd in 45. It was a few months after VE Day, victory in Europe. Two of the more famous pictures taken at the end of the war: the sailor kissing the girl in Times Square in New York. The one on the left is General MacArthur signing the uh, the ending of the war in Japan. The person standing immediately behind him is General Wainwright, who was captured on Corregidor, Bataan, and was went through the Bataan Death March. Interesting to note that the table that the papers were signed on was actually produced right here in Grand Rapids by the Steelcase Company. And so this ends this one, and we'll pick up much of this as we get after the semester exam.